Greetings and welcome with all protocols observed. This could be the last episode of Buzz Aldrin's Space Program Manager. I'm not sure, but it could be. We have to just, of course, as always, load up the game, slot number 1, and there we go. Alright, you can hear the music. It's now action stations here. It's 1969, the first quarter, and we are very close to succeeding in our goal of landing on the moon. But there are some challenges that remain. The Surveyor Lunar Lander is something we have not done yet. I don't know if it's even going to be worth it. The problem is just it might actually give us a penalty for Project Apollo. Let's just have a look. So we have several options when it comes to the actual lunar landing, and the first one is the normal one, the first one, for example Apollo 11. For that we will have quite a penalty, 8%. It's not terrible, but I will not take that risk. And the reason for that is we still have to do a lunar module test in lunar orbit. We've done it in Earth orbit. We also have to do, let's see, what's that one? Lunar lander test in Earth orbit. So that has to be just a manned test again of the lander. We also have to achieve a manned lunar orbit, and we have to get an uncrewed lunar orbit. So several things that we still have to do. We actually have to see if we can't achieve them more than one at a time. Let's just see here. We have to do the uncrewed lunar orbit first, because a crewed one will have 5% penalty, so that is non-negotiable. I'm not taking a 5% hit on that one. So there's no further uncrewed missions of any kind for Apollo after this one. So this is literally our last chance to shake down this rocket and capsule. Schedule and just get auto assign. That's fine. Everyone is looking very good, so confirm. And we have 3 mission controllers left, but that's not enough for Surveyor. Fortunately, now we know Surveyor will not have a penalty if we've not done it, so we can just ignore, but we need 5 controllers anyway, and I would rather focus on Apollo now. It's Apollo or bust. Everything must go towards that. The last astronauts here to still be trained are Wayne Holmes and Scott Sindrin. I just want to get Scott Sindrin's piloting skills up as well as Wayne Holmes. That's it. After that I will do no more. It's likely that I'll not even use them for the final missions, but who knows? We'll see. The prestige aspect is probably irrelevant at this point. We have met this. But that will only end in 1971, so of course, actually start in 71, but then it is so late in the game, it'll practically be irrelevant. So let's just see if we can actually do a mission successfully with Apollo here. Let me just see, there's so many things happening here. Only things that matter now are the Saturn V, the LEM, and Apollo, and of course the suit. The suit lags a bit, that's the weakest link, but we don't need it right away. Alright people, this is it. It's uncrewed, but it has to succeed, otherwise it's going to put us back another season.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire.
Go, 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 go. Alright, ascent so far good. Looks like at least it's gonna get to orbit, maybe. Okay, that's fine. Parking orbit now till it gets to the correct position for lunar injection. Great. Translunar injection. So we have done this with people before, the previous mission in fact, so it should go well. You can actually see the components reliability is almost at 100%, which is brilliant. This is the culmination of more than a decade of intensive research and development. Okay, lunar orbit insertion. Let's just see what happens here. Okay, it made it, so it's in lunar orbit now. And coming back home. Come on, come on. Okay, potential problem. If I do nothing, the chance of success is 94%. Not bad. I've got $16,000, so I'm wondering now. I should use it. We're in the final stretch. We have to make every possible effort. Okay, it's always a relief. $12,000 for 1% increase, but hey, maybe that made the difference. No way of knowing. Re-entry success, and just 2 more steps. Great, last one. Yes, okay. We are looking good. Prestige is not relevant anymore. Now it's just the final goals. All that matters. We have done the orbital thing now. It's time for the crewed orbit. But actually, I just want to check something. No Soviet activity this season. Everything else is just the normal. There's no unexpected things. Hey, and the president is happy again. Like I said before, Mr. President, remember me when the mission is over, hey? I am going to be looking for some funding. Anyway, we have to go on, so let's see. I don't think we're going to do any more Apollo tests in Earth orbit, unless it's absolutely necessary. If we do a lunar module test in lunar orbit, there is a penalty of 3%. Obviously, I want to minimize that, but 3 is not horrific. That's because we have not done a manned lunar orbit yet, but this will be a manned lunar orbit. But anyway, it's because of the added complexity of testing the LEM, and then we haven't done a manned LEM test in Earth orbit. But I'm going to do it. We're in the final stretch. If this succeeds, this was Apollo 10. If we do this, we can still land by the 3rd quarter of this year and be on track with history. Okay. Oh dear, alright. I need 15 flight controllers and I don't have 15. You must be joking. You must be joking. Seriously, I have to hire somebody else? That's going to take another 2 seasons. No. No, come on, you're kidding me. See this, I wish we could have a warning or something earlier, then I could prepare. Laura Callahan, you're it. Decent candidate, but still. That will take how long now? 2 seasons, half a year. That's going to throw everything off. Well, let's see, maybe we can do something else in the meantime. What about the manned LEM test in Earth orbit? We also need 15. Okay, so that is just not going to work. Darn, okay. So what now? I'm going to close Gemini. We're done with it. Not going to spend more time on that. Let me just manage the rockets. Atlas is finished, not necessary. Atlas Agena, not necessary. Titan, not necessary. We can always reopen those and we don't lose the reliability, but I don't want to spend money. We need to save money so that we can pay our people if we are in trouble. I just want to keep these 2 open. Saturn V and Titan 3E. That's it. But now, what am I going to do now? We can't advance the Apollo project at all. I should have been looking here. Okay, well, there's something. We can do a lunar orbital flight with just 13 controllers, and that's anyway something that we would ideally do because it will minimize the penalty. So let's at least do that. Okay. Good, 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 good. It's not a waste. Let's do it. Who is our Capcom? Mary Hawkins. That's all right. We've got 3 choices here. Okay, Dennis Larson, Joseph Hill, and Linda Purvis. There you go. At least it's not a waste. I'm so glad about that. Have 4 scientists not doing anything, but is it worth something? Okay, maybe if we do the lunar rover. This, of course, will add more complexity to the actual lunar landing, and I think we might want to minimize complexity at this point, but hey, they can work on it. So that's the 2 choices, the normal landing, Apollo 11, or the later, for example, Apollo 15 with the rover. Okay, everyone's doing something, move on. Okay, the rover will take a long time. I don't know if it's going to be ready. Okay. At least I'm glad we can do this. That will help minimize our risks later.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fire.
Every single turn now we need to be pushing towards that lunar goal. Otherwise the Russians will succeed. They are behind us now. There is no doubt, because they have not done any manned lunar flybys or what we're doing now, a manned lunar orbit. So it's still, it gives you that false sense of security that, you know, oh, the Russians, they haven't done this, it's fine. But in one turn maybe they'll skip ahead and not do something, for example the flyby, and go straight for orbit. You never know. Okay, come on. Second time we send a manned crew to the moon. Okay, awesome. There she is. Alright, orbital insertion happens on the other side of the moon. And they are in orbit. Amazing achievement for humankind. We have put people in orbit of another stellar body. Lunar orbit success, and the return burn has worked. So now they just need to coast back to Earth. Awesome. Okay. Re-entry. This is like the high tense stage of this game. Everything is just very, very stressful. If you are at all invested in the game. I always am very invested in every game that I play. 14,600. Yes. Okay. Brilliant. Wow. Okay. Apollo lunar orbital flight is a success, and we have at least got one of the phases of that new controller's training done. Alright, what have you done, Russians? They've done an orbital flight 3 with their LK lunar landing. Interesting. They've only opened it. Okay, that's fine. So they've done just a duration 3. Must be with that L7K LOK that they had before, but now they've actually opened the lunar phase, just like we had to open an Apollo lunar phase. So now they will be working on that. Everything is just the expected news. So we only have 2 personnel in the astronaut complex, so we can't do Apollo this season anyway. Okay, yeah, we need 4. So, this will have to be the Surveyor. It's the only option. Okay, Surveyor, we've spent some time preparing you. It is now up to you. Good luck. If it works, it'll give us a much clearer picture of what's happening on the moon. The Soviets have landed on the moon with their Luna 15, so we know that the surface is stable enough to support a landing craft. And that was an actual real concern. I mean, there was a big fear that anything that lands on the moon that's quite heavy will actually just sink into the powdery surface of the moon. But of course that didn't happen, so that's a good thing. Maybe we can get better people working on this rover. I would like to do it, but I don't know. It is a secondary goal for me right now. Alright, everything else is fine. Apollo itself is at 98.8% reliability. The EVA suit is 85, so it is decent. I would like it higher, but it will hopefully be higher by the time we need it. Now what? I guess 2 more people can work on the surveyor. The program here is winding down now. We're definitely in the final stretch. Just see, okay, so we have closed that. Don't know why they're still working or have this here, the Agena target vehicle, unless we can dock Apollo to it maybe. Alright, no, we can't. Okay, those last 2 scientists will just have to stand by. Nothing for them to do anymore. Good luck, surveyor. If it goes well, this will be the last launch of the Titan 3E. I think it will be anyway.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire.
Hoping for a success. If we wanted to be on par with history, we would have had to launch the lunar landing this season, right now. This is the 3rd quarter, and of course in reality it happened in July 1969. I might just push for the 4th quarter, so the turn now once this is ended. Skip everything and just do the landing. Take the risk. Okay, 81%, at least this does not cost so much to support, so I'll hire 1 extra team to help us out on whatever the problem is with the experiments. Come on, do it. Okay, okay. Moon approach, and the final step. This experiments is flashing again, but okay, is it there now? Looks like it. Yes, okay, we have landed something, soft landed by the way, soft landed something on the moon, so that is a very reassuring thing, I'm sure, for the astronauts in Apollo. So we've done the 2nd level study of the lunar soil, we've done the soft landing, and we have the close-up pictures of the moon, so at least it gives us a lot more information. The Russians have now done an uncrewed orbital flight of the 7K OK. Maybe this is their lunar one. I'm not always sure. The LOK must be something, well, I don't know actually how they all differ. It's so difficult. I wish we could just have a click here or something and then see the different possibilities for the Soviets. But anyway, I guess it doesn't make sense for me to rush now. They are behind us, there is no question of that. So if I just do the lunar landing now, I'm taking an unnecessary risk. The only reason I would still do that is because of the whole thing about landing before the end of the decade. But the Russians won't beat us if I wait another turn or so. If we just straight up go for the landing, it's a 3% penalty because we haven't done a manned test of the LEM. But let's do it. Let's live boldly and hope we don't regret it. If we want to take the rover out, it's, let me just see what the penalty is. There's 2 penalties then. It's interesting. No, there are 2 penalties for this one. Oh no. 6% is a bit high. Let's do it anyway. The rover is not ready. It's going to be an unnecessary risk. Let me just have a look. 71 is not good enough. No way. No way. Not gonna happen. Already taking a heck of a risk by doing a 6% penalty, but here we go. EVA suit, EVA, it's the same thing. We just need 2 of them, I guess. Obviously 2 people. Oh, is this a good idea? Doctor, what do you say? It will suffer, yes, I know that. Well, I might be making a monumental mistake, but here we go. So where's that new person that we hired? She's on network, or is that her? Yes, Laura Callahan. 59% is not terrible. And she is involved in a lot of stages, but not too heavily. Launch prep and countdown is actually 20%, and with splashdown 45%. Oh, good grief. But if I train her, it's going to be another 3 seasons. It has to be enough. It just has to be. Wait. Go back. I want Mary and I want Dennis. They are our historical X-15 pioneers, so they are going on this mission. The only question is then who is going to be Capcom. Linda is going to be Capcom. She's great, 90%. Let me just see who's doing the EVA here. Leadership, piloting, science and fitness. And this one, actual EVA, and this one, actual EVA. So okay, the CMP, I guess, I actually don't know what that stands for. Commander, of course, I don't know. Obviously the person who stays in the command module in lunar orbit. So for this person we don't need a good EVA skill. We could take the risk of taking Wayne Holmes, but I don't know. No, let's stick with the people we know and trust. So it's going to be Joseph Hill. The commander is going to be... Who's it going to be? Historical choices here now. We can go for Dennis Larson. I think so. It just seems fitting. He was our very first successful pilot, so he can command this mission. The lunar pilot, I think, then will be Mary Hawkins. She is also, and she's a pioneer herself. Of course, she was the first woman in space. So if we fail, it's catastrophic. We'll be killing our greatest heroes, but let's think positive thoughts. Okay, here we go. End of 1969. Do we ring in a new decade with a great achievement or a great failure? I can still scrub it. Oh, what do I do? What would you have done? Tell me in the comments below. Obviously you will know what happened already, but what would you have done now? Would you scrub or launch? I'm gonna click launch. That's it. I've committed us to this path for good or for ill. Go. No regrets. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You can see our component reliability is not as high as it was because of the addition of the LEM, of course, that hasn't been tested as much. We did test it in Earth orbit, so I hope that counts enough. There she goes. Leaving the Earth behind, hopefully not for the last time. Parking orbit. Most experienced crew we've ever had. Okay, at least that was done. Now they're on their way to the moon. This is epic. Nice music. Come on, come on, come on.
Okay, we've got our go now, is that right? Affirmative. Okay, we're still doing a little work right here. Roger, understand.
Okay, great. The whole world is watching, even the Soviets. Oh, okay. Never did that before, but it works. Come on, there's 4 things flashing. Why? No, 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 no.
All your systems are looking good. Going around the corner, we'll see you on the other side. Over.
See you on the other side. Okay, looks good. And they are in orbit.
Houston, the moon is essentially gray. No color.
Your go for undocking.
This is it. Of course, they have to get back safely, so if they don't do that, it doesn't count. Come on, Mary. Come on, Dennis.
We're go for landing. Eagle Houston, you're go for landing, over. Okay, stand by for pitch over.
Come on. Yes, you can do it.
40 feet down, 2.5.
The whole world is behind you.
4 forward, drift to the right level.
Oh, wow.
30 seconds. Okay, engine.
Okay, they're on the moon. Yes! Another EVA. Oh, no, 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 no. Come on, come on.
Like a powder. And step off the land now. That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
And the first man on the moon is an American, or a first woman, we don't know. It could be either or.
It does wave when you do that.
That's a good sight there.
Some of these small
And there's our surveyor.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, work stage, engine arm ascent, proceed.
Too much stress. Aish. Okay. I've got $26,000. You know I will spend every penny I've got. The most I can do is one team, 21,000. It will give us a 6% boost, 81.1. Come on, this has to do. This has to. It has to. Come on, please, please, come on. Oh, hey.
Roger, thank you. Sounds good.
Your go for undocking.
Yeesh. All right. Jettison that thing and let's get out of here. Okay, now there's nothing strange. We've done this before. If everyone just stays calm, remember your training.
Still happy to be going back home, back to our home.
There's our home. We are close. We are so close now. Just to 3 steps. One more. Got it. Yes. Yes. Okay, let me just breathe for a second. Yay, success. I've never actually done this before with the Americans. I have landed with the Soviets once before 1970, so this is an achievement even for me. Easy or not, this ain't easy, let me tell you. Okay, so what have we done? Actually done the landing, yes. We've done the LEM test, so anyway, by using it. Manned lunar landing. And we have our own samples retrieval. And that's it. Okay, now the Soviets only do their uncrewed lunar flyby test, so they are what, 3 years behind us now? When did we do this? 67, I think. So anyway, nothing else happening. That's it. The United States of America triumph once again. The first man on the moon is an American, confirming the technological and economical superiority of this great nation. Almost every human on the planet listens to the live broadcast of the lunar landing, causing an enormous prestige boost. You are confirmed as the NASA administrator, and Congress declares itself in favor of the sustained funding of the agency, if only that happened in real life. The President of the United States invites you to the White House, hey, he remembered me, for an official celebratory event, and privately proposes you begin work on the building of space stations in Earth orbit, of a lunar base, and on the manned exploration of Mars. Great. Your fame allows you to establish partnerships with the greatest universities. NASA becomes the ideal workplace for academicians, researchers, engineers, and technicians all around the world. The Soviet Union denies the mere existence of its manned lunar program, just like real life, and now limits its ambitions to flights in Earth's orbit and to a robotic program of space exploration. Only Eastern Europe, China, Vietnam, North Korea and Cuba stay within the Soviet Union's sphere of influence, and at the cost of a strict law enforcement. The Eastern Bloc becomes geopolitically and economically isolated, leading to a slow decline. Just like real life, I guess. I'm reading things that aren't there. The United States and the United Kingdom strengthen their prosperous market economy, while Western Europe organizes itself and becomes a full economical partner. Numerous rising countries in Africa, hopefully including where I live, Asia and South America become exclusive investment markets. You are awarded the NASA Distinguished Service Medal and become one of the men in the nation that have the most influence on internal politics. Hey! There we go, the highest distinction awarded. You can see the achievement popping up. I've never done this before. And we only lost 2 people. I know that's 2 people too many, but believe me, if you look at a normal game, this does not happen so well. Okay, so let's have a look at our stats. Prestige that we ended off is 132,000, so we blow anyone and everyone else out of the water. Universal goals 23, total goals 74. Successful missions 33, failed only 7. That's a very, very good ratio. Okay, mission so and so and so. Okay. Retired or dismissed, we only ever dismissed 2 people, and no one else ever left us because we paid them good enough, because that's the advantage of living in a capitalist society. Fallen flight crews, of course, too. Advanced training, we spent a lot of money on that, but not as much as our normal salaries. Mission components, of course, we spent a lot of money on that, 270,000. Of course, not like real life. Robotic goals, we achieved a couple. We never did the Sun probe, the Mercury probe, the Venus orbiter, the Mars probe, or the Mars orbiter. So there's a lot that we didn't do. But hey, it allowed us to do the greatest thing, which was to land before the 1970s. Manned goals, we did everything. There is nothing that we have not touched. Okay, so that's it. Normally the game ends here. You can continue, but there's really not much to do. You can pursue the other goals, like landing on Mars and all of that now. But I don't know if it's really worth it. The game is all about landing on the moon. There's nothing new here now. So even though they spoke about orbiting stations and moon bases and all of that, there is nothing more in the game that you can do. So yeah, that's it. That's it. I think that concludes the series now. We can, for old time's sake, try and land on Mars or something. I don't know. But then we have to open the program and research the program and do all of that. You know what? I'll do the following. I'll keep the save. Let me actually save it now. Save game, save, and overwrite. Okay. I'll keep it around, and maybe one day, just for, old time's sake, I will complete those last few goals. But for now, I think that's it. We have more than met our goal, And we won, actually by quite a margin, but it was close for a while. Let me just see, where are our... No, that's in the museum. Flight crews, details, fallen. Evan Mann and Lawrence Hunt, they didn't live to see this glory, but it is in their honor. So that's it. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this series. That concludes this one. Maybe I'll do a Soviet one if people are interested. But until then, may all your missions succeed, and may you be happy in all that you do. Thank you for watching, and that's me signing out for just for now, but see you next time. Bye-bye.